Chapter 19. The Legend of White Mouse Wolf. Life as an outer sect disciple on Fragrant Cloud Mountain was, for Bai Xiaochun, rather comfortable. Aside from occasionally missing the delicious food from the fire cauldron kitchen, he found himself quite satisfied with his new lifestyle. His cultivation progressed steadily, and the spirit herbs he continued to study were endlessly fascinating. Yet, from time to time, boredom crept in, for he knew no one, and had no one to talk to. Is the life of a cultivator always this lonely? Bai Xiaochun sighed, gazing up at the sky with the air of an old soul trapped in a young body. Autumn winds had passed, and snowflakes now drifted in the air. The temperature had dropped sharply, yet the spirit winter bamboo growing in his courtyard flourished. Towering taller than him, their lush green leaves forming a striking contrast against the bleak winter world. Since the day he had seized first place on the spirit plant stele, over a month had passed. The difficulty of the second herbal scroll had far exceeded his expectations, slowing his pace of research. Even xianxia had not returned to challenge that stele again. Looking at the remaining herbs he had yet to assemble, Bai Xiaochun felt both regret and pressure. I must make a name for myself. I can't let that little girl see xianxia get too far ahead of me. Clenching his teeth, Bai Xiaochun made up his mind. He had not yet fulfilled his dream of standing proudly before thousands of disciples, declaring that the black turtle seal belonged to him. That dream fueled his determination. Although his progress in herbal studies slowed, his practice of the undying everlasting technique had nearly reached the stage of a minor circuit. Each session of cultivation brought increasing pain to his body. Yet, because of his obsession with immortality, he endured with gritted teeth, never giving up. Just 3 more days. In 3 days, I'll complete the first minor circuit of the undying everlasting technique. Taking a deep breath, Bai Xiaochun split his days between studying herbs and cultivating tirelessly. 3 days passed in a flash. At dusk on the 3rd day, snow blanketed Spirit Creek sect. As Bai Xiaochun ran laps, his body suddenly trembled. The pain that had plagued him for 81 days vanished in an instant. Heat surged through him, radiating outward, his skin burning as though fresh from a furnace. Snowflakes melted before touching him, turning into wisps of steam. I did it. Though parched and exhausted, Bai Xiaochun was overjoyed. Looking down, he saw a faint black glow sweep across his skin before fading. Poking his arm with the finger, he felt as though he were pressing against oxhide. His eyes shone with delight. When he shifted his body, his speed doubled, covering several meters in a single blur. Ha ha ha, he laughed wildly, racing around like a child showing off a new toy. Without pause, he sat down again to continue cultivating. The technique was like forcing one's body into a breathing rhythm. Each inhalation and exhalation completed a tiny cycle, and only after 99 such cycles could a minor circuit be achieved. Success meant stepping into the stage of undying skin. Minor completion. The process was grueling. Each completed cycle left his body thinner, his flesh seemingly devoured from within. By the 15th cycle, he looked like skin and bones, though his hide gleamed tougher than ever. Hunger tore at him, fierce and unrelenting. His belly rumbled like thunder, his vision blurred, his mind swam. If only there was a whole elephant here, I'd eat it in one bite. No. I'm starving to death. Stumbling, he glanced around desperately. Only bamboo stalks surrounded him. Madness overtook him. He lunged forward and bit into one with a sharp crack. The bitterness nearly made him faint. Ugh, so bitter, I want rice. His mind filled with thoughts of the fire cauldron kitchen. The hunger was unbearable, beyond anything he had ever endured. His vision turned green, breath ragged, and with a sudden roar, he bolted out of the courtyard. Down the mountain path he streaked, faster than any outer sect disciple had ever seen. Those he passed felt only a gust of wind before his figure vanished. He charged all the way to the service area, crashing directly into the fire cauldron kitchen. Without waiting for the doors to open, he leaped inside. At that moment, Huang Second Fatty was supervising the cooking. Since Zhang Big Fatty and He Third Fatty had left, he was now the leader here. Suddenly, a whirlwind blew through the room. Bai Xiaochun appeared, eyes blazing, diving headfirst toward a massive pot of rice. Huang Second Fatty yelped in horror. The other kitchen disciples froze, stunned. Before they could react, Bai Xiaochun grabbed a giant bowl and shoveled rice into his mouth. 1 bowl. 2 bowls. 3 bowls. In a blink, he devoured over 100 bowls, his stomach like a bottomless pit. Meat, I want meat. His frenzied eyes fell upon the plump bodies of his senior brothers. His throat bobbed as he swallowed audibly. The kitchen disciples went pale, trembling, as Bai Xiaochun glared at them like a starving beast. Huang's second fatty shouted in terror. Ninth fatty, quick, bring out the spirit food prepared for Elder Ka. The words were barely out before Bai Xiaochun darted into the pantry, a blur of hunger incarnate. The kitchen brothers exchanged horrified glances, their faces ashen. You see, this is what happens when you become an outer sect disciple. Look at poor junior brother, starving like this. Even if you beat us to death, we'll never become outer sect disciples. Their pitying eyes, followed by Xiaochun, who was inside devouring spirit food like a ravenous demon. Thankfully, even in his madness, he did not break the sect's rules. He only ate from the corners of the dishes, never taking everything. After finally calming the hunger in his belly, he staggered out, tears in his eyes. The undying everlasting technique was truly terrifying. His body no longer hurt, but the hunger was enough to drive him insane. Second senior brother. Bai Xiaochun looked pitifully at Huang's second fatty. Seeing that his eyes had returned to normal, Huang's second fatty sighed and patted him on the shoulder. Don't worry, junior brother. Worst case, we'll just prepare another portion for Elder Ka. We fear ever starving again, come here and eat. Moved nearly to tears, Bai Xiaochun nodded fiercely. He vowed that he must not come here often. If one day he lost control, the fire cauldron kitchen itself might not survive him. Leaving the kitchen, he walked down the snowy mountain path, satisfaction fading into fear. Has anyone in Spirit Creek sect ever starved to death before? I really don't want to be the first. His face full of sorrow, he pondered desperately for a solution. Suddenly, the distant crow of a chicken reached his ears. He froze, eyes gleaming. His stomach growled loudly. Chicken, like a thief, he darted into the bushes, creeping forward on all fours like a wolf on the hunt. Soon, he crouched outside the spirit beast pens, staring wide-eyed at the proud three-colored spirit chickens pacing back and forth. Their massive heads were as large as calves. Drool glistened at the corner of his mouth. His eyes blazed with hunger. Meat, he whispered, his eerie smile sending chills down the spine of anyone who might have heard him. And thus, the legend of White Mouse Wolf was born.